So last week we're going to wrap up the pronouns here, but we talked about the subject pronoun, and then this subject pronoun can either be independent of any words, in which way we call it fa'al. It's in the rafa state, munfasil, ana, nahnu, and all these, hunna. And then if it's attached, it'll be attached to a verb, and then it'll be a fa'al. I guess the first one can be fa'al. This can also be ism. This can also be mubtada. But anyways, this is fa'al, and this in the rafa state. It's muttasil, katabtu, katabna. Then we have the object. If it's maf'ul bihi nasab, it's in the nasab state, and it'll be munfasal. If it's munfasal, it's these ones, iyaka na'budu, iyaka nasta'in. And then if it's the object that's attached, it could be like katabani, he wrote me. That's a different meaning, but rafa'ani, it lifted me, for example, an elevator or something like that. And then, I didn't finish this. That was part of what I do. Anyways, I'll finish this inshallah today. But this would be the subject if it's attached. Ism inna, for example, the ism inna muttasil, innani, inni. And then this is also, it can be, let me do this. Let me put the Arabic thing. I double checked on this. It can be, and this is in the Quran. I should have known this off the top of my head. But anyways, it can be, it's valid to do it this way, or it can go valid, whoops, it could be innani, innani, inna, oops, inna, ni. This will be kasra. This isn't always, it's only for like, and this can, or it could be, this can also be, oops, in, no, I don't know what's happening, innana. So it could go inna or innana, and then the other ones, for example, will be innaka, innaki, and then etc. And I'll finish those out later. I thought I already did that, but anyways. So that's just a quick review of all these things as it pertains to the pronouns. I think we covered pretty much everything. Let me put this here also. Dash. Ism mubtada. Just so we have it kind of like ism mubtada. And then this would be ism inna. So this is subject attached to the inna khawatuha. And then we had this one also. I think we talked about this also, where I didn't. Yeah, this is the new thing I wanted to add. You can also have a prepositional object attached, which would be ism majroor muttasal. So, for example, minni, minna, minka, minki, minkuma, and these ones mean from me, from us. You cannot do minnani or minnana. That's only for this inna one. It's not for all of the inna khatua. It's just a few of them. It's mainly inna. Anyways, there may be a couple of those. Lakinnani. Can be part of lakinna or lakinnani, but it's not all of them. And then here we have the prepositional object attached. So I think I thought about that last week, but this should be all the pronoun related stuff in one spot. I'll finish this out. I don't know why I forgot that. But anyways, and then one other thing to mention here is for some of them, when they're in the majroor kind of state. So all these ones, I put an asterisk here. It's kitabuhu. It could be kitabahu if it's like for example in the nasab state, or if it's in the jar state, it'd be kitabihi. So another example of that is, and then on this side, it's the same thing with these. When it's attached like this, it could be minhu, minha, minhuma, minhum, minhunna. But also, it can be like alayhi. So if it was ada, it would be alayhi. It wouldn't be alayhu. Although there is a qira'ah for the Quran, like Hamza and some other qira'ahs, where it is allowed to do alayhum, sirat al-ladina alayhim, or in another qira'ah, it's allowed sirat al-ladina alayhim. Anyhow, you don't have to really sweat any of that stuff. I just wanted to, I think that's kind of noteworthy there. All right, now I think we can go ahead and proceed with the text wherever we left off. Any questions about any of that before we move on? I think we're good, right? All right. So last time we talked about الفعل المضارع, the present tense, المعتل الآخر, وأحوال إعرابه, and أمثلة. So maybe Insha or Hadi, Ayman, if one of y'all can just kind of explain what is this all about? الفعل المضارع, المعتل الآخر, وأحوال إعرابه. What is this all about? وأحوال إعرابه. What is this chapter about? Either of you, you guys can hear me, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. All right, yeah, what's this chapter about?
الفعل المضارع
Yes.
الآخر وأحواله
وأحوال إعرابه.
أحوال إعرابه. So
Yeah.
So I guess identifying the verb if it has a what?
How the ending is.
Yeah, how the ending is, right? So معتل.
Yes.
الآخر. معتل الآخر. Okay.
Is it like the ones that end in yeah?
Yeah.
Alif, wow.
Alif and yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Alif,
And how?
yeah.
Right.
And how do you
wow,
conjugate them?
It's only these three. Alif, wow, yeah. Yes. Very good.
Alif, wow, yeah. If a verb that ends in this, it does not change its form. It changes its state. I guess that's what that means.
No, so all right. Okay, well, maybe. So here.
No, I was just reading out loud the notes I had, but okay.
Okay. The fi'l mudari is a present tense, and then the mu'tal al-akhir. It's just a present tense that has one of these, either alif maksur or alif, wow, or yeah. Sorry about the spelling. So, and then وَأَحْوَالُ إِعْرَابِهِ, and the conditions of its grammatical analysis. So I created a table. Let's go back to that thing here. All right. So what did I call it? Okay, here we go. Here, this is it. I just shared it. Here we go. All right, there we go. All right. So this is the table I created last week. Let's take a look at this thing. Let's look at this kind of high level. So we have, first of all, right here, we have fi'l mudari marfu'. All right, boom. Fi'l mudari marfu'. Present tense in the rafa' state. Okay. What other states do we have for fi'l mudari?
Nasab and jazm.
Yes, very good.
Okay.
Yes, that's exactly it. So then we have over here the fi'l mudari mansub, or which is in the nasab state. Fi'l mudari majzoom, which is in the jazm state. Very good. And so what we have in this table is we're going to see this right here. This is just what we know. This is the regular standard. Aktubu, taktubu, yaktubu, taktuban, yaktuban. And you've all done this many times now since last summer or whenever we started, last summer long. You've already got this down, and although you may want to review it here or there, for the most part, this is part of your, it's in your hand memory, it's in your brain memory. It might require review, and that's fine. Everybody requires review, but that's you have all this down. Then we have, let's just zoom in here a little bit. This is what this entire chapter is about. Now we have if the mu'tal al-akhiru al-mu'talun al-akhiru bil-alif. If it has the alif in the akhir. It can be alif or alif maksur. Alif or alif maksur, which is this, or the ya without the dots, they're both alifs. One is just called alif maksur. They have the a sound. And then we have mu'tal al-akhiru bil-waw. It could be, if it's in the waw, just what we talked about. The mu'tal can be alif, waw, or ya. And then we have the last one, which is ya. So when we look at these side by side, let's do this. How about all of these three? Maybe we can have Ayman, if you wouldn't mind, just read all these right to left, like from L4 to I4. So L4 to I4. Just go ahead, read these across, and we can keep. And then let's go ahead.
Okay. Aktubu.
Yes.
Ansa.
Yes.
Asfu.
Yes.
Ajri.
Ajri. So when we look here, right, they're all in the rafa state. In book one, for the most part, every time we were in the rafa state, everything ended with a dhamma, right? Like for aktubu, akuru, adrusu, boom, 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 right? And in the rafa state, if it was mufanna, it would have the alif noon or the waw noon also, or the ya noon if it's taktubin, for example. So, but what happens here is it's in the rafa state, but it ends in a sukun, ansa. It's just an alif state. It's just an alif right there. Here is asfu, and it ends in also sukun, a sukun on the waw. When we have a sukun on the alif, waw, or ya, it causes elongation of the dhamma or the kasra, fatha, dhamma that precedes it. So it's instead of asfu, it's asfu. Anyhow, and then we have ajri, and that's a sukun on the ya, and it's ajri. It's just elongated. So what we can see here is in the rafa state, even though this first one, L4, so it has this, dhamma, these guys don't. They're just the elongated. They're just the harf mu'tal sits there. All right, you can go ahead and continue. Maybe wait. Let me see. All right, go ahead. Yeah, let's just go ahead and read all of them. Go ahead, if you could just read all of them, and then I'll move the cursor, please, Ayman, and then we can ask Hadi here to do the next set.
Okay. Taktubu.
Yes.
Sa.
Yes.
Taktu. Tajri.
Correct.
Yaktubu. Yansa. Yasfu. Yajri.
Yes. Very good.
Okay. Taktuban. So there's a sukun there, taktuban.
No, it's supposed to be. Sorry about that. It is. It's just not pronounced usually, but there's a kasra here. Taktubani.
Oh, taktubani. Oh, okay. So taktubani, insayani, tasfuwani, tajriyani.
Yeah. So just as it's noteworthy here to mention, from a pronunciation thing, here we have a sukun here. Maybe I should just put it in there. Let me just put it in there. the sukoon. No, where's my sukoon? There we go. So when we look here from pronunciation perspective, you can see that when we have a sukoon on one of these letters, it's a, u, e. But when we have a well, this thing changed right here. Once we added the fatha here, it changed into ya. So that's noteworthy to mention. But I'd be curious if there's another qira'ah that leaves it in the alif state. But anyways, here on the tasfuan, now it makes a wa sound, the wa or the ya sound. So it could be u or wa sound. The wow can have the u sound if it's elongated. It's just u, like o, like look or something like that, u. But if we put a fatha, that's if it's a sukoon on it. If we put a if we put a dhamma fatha or kasra on it, it becomes wu. So it would be wa, we, wu, wu with the w sound. If it doesn't have a fatha dhamma or kasra, it'll be a sukoon. It has a sukoon, it'll be u. If it has one or the other, it'll be a w. Wu, wa, we, wu.
Okay, yeah, I think
yeah,
I know what you're talking about, the difference. Okay.
Yeah. And then we see this in the tajweed, but I've made mistakes. I'm working on it right now, but I made some mistakes on like a couple words, like we. That one is a wa and had had a tashkil on it. I pronounced it originally. I was doing tui, but it was like I was doing with the oo, and then when I got corrected, I heard somebody else reciting, and then I was like, wait, I've been doing it wrong the whole time. So anyways. So that's just something worthy of mention. So let's go. I think we're good here. We covered what I wanted to cover here, but something also noteworthy to mention, I guess, is yeah. Let's look at this last line here. I think this last line is something that's a little bit interesting. Also, go ahead. Please, Ayman.
Taktubna, tansayna.
Yes.
Tasfuna. So this would be the oo sound then, just no, not wow.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
And tajrina.
Yeah.
Yaktubna, yansayna.
Yes.
Yafuna, yajrina.
Yeah, we don't see all this. I mean, a lot of people will get these things wrong. A lot of people, Arabs professionals who have college degrees and stuff like that, are going to mess some of these things up. Tasfuan, that's a hard one. So you don't see it all the time, but just I think maybe what we want to take away from anything is once we see there's a one of these mu'tal, الآخر, the ending is mu'tal. Maybe we just have to pay a little bit extra closer attention. If you notice here, what's interesting here is this is tansain, this is tajreen, and the difference here is on the third letter, here's a fatha. And that fatha, and then this one here, though, it's tajreen, it became a kasra. And some of these things I think are done because it's just, that's how the Arabs used to pronounce it. And I think it goes with the tongue a little bit easier. So anyways, this is like taji and then tajdeen. Whereas you'd see, okay, so here with un, and then here because it's an alif maksur. But it's just some things to kind of pay attention to. Today's homework is going to be around this. We won't try to overdo it. Maybe we'll just do a few key ones within them. But all right, let's just go to this next one over here, which is in the nasab state. And there's some changes and differences in the nasab state. That's why I kind of create all these columns, because there's a few different nuanced changes in all of these between the three different states. All right, so this one's for Hadi, the Modare, Mansub. If you want to just go ahead and read them out here. And then if you have any questions or comments, just somebody, throw them in there.
Okay, start with Aktuba.
Yes.
Okay, Aktuba, Ansa, Asfu.
Tasfua.
really? Asfala? And
Yeah.
Ajriya?
Yep.
And then the next row is Taktuba,
Mm-hmm.
Tensa, Asfala,
Yep.
and Ajriya.
Yes. Let's go to this one down here. Right here.
H7.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it Taktuba?
Yeah. And you've all done all these in the homework, your homeworks. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Taktuba, Tensiya.
Tensa, yeah.
Oh, Tensiya.
Mm-hmm.
Tasfu, Tasfu.
Tasfua.
Oh, okay. This isn't one of the ones where it's like wow, alif, and it's really Tasfu.
Yeah, that would only be in the sukun. I only mentioned that. I probably maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that. I just was like, hey, this is a noteworthy side note. It wasn't really relevant to this lesson. I just thought it was like I mentioned that.
Okay, Tasfuwa and Hajriya.
Yes. All right, and then let's go to okay, yeah, let's go right here.
Okay, that's Yaktubna.
Are you doing H15 or 16?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I did H16.
Yeah, you're good. Let's go.
Oh, okay, let's do H15. Taktubna.
Yep.
Let me make this bigger.
Okay, hold on.
Pence.
I don't know if I can make it bigger. 225. No, wait. No, this is the max I can make it. Sorry.
Oh, okay, this is fine. I can make it bigger on my end.
No, I made it bigger. I got it. Yeah, here we go.
Okay. Taktubna. Tensina.
Tensena.
Tensina. Tasfuna. And Tajrina.
Yep.
Tajrina or Tajrina?
Tajrina. So if you look here in the Rafa state, which is, I'm going back here to the Rafa state, this K15 right here, it's Tensena, Tasfuna, Tajrina, and then also in the Nasab state, it's Tensena, Tasfuna, Tajrina. So some of them, they're similar to the others, and if you do them, you'll get them right. If you just write them all out, you'll be like, this is probably, you might mess up a couple of them, and that's fine. Most people, I think, will mess up some of these, but I just wanted to show, like, hey, these are the same situations. Whereas these ones are different. So between the Rafa and Nasab state, this was Tensayani, Taswani, Tajriyani in the Rafa state, but over here in the Nasab state, it's Tensaya, Taswa, Tajriya. Now, question for you, why are these Tensaya or Taswa or Tajriya? What would cause them to be in the Nasab state? It's a question for either of you. Why would we put these in the Nasab state?
Is it the fatha? Saya, but that's fuwa. That's different. What is it? State again. What are these for?
Why here? So over here it's Tajriyan in the Rafa state. But over here it's Tajriya. Why did we drop this noon in the Nasab state? Why did it become Taktuba instead of Taktubani? What would cause that? What would it cause it to go from aktubu to aktuba? What would cause something like this? Think about it. You guys know the answer to this. Just kind of going back a little bit. Why would I go from aktubu to aktuba, or taktubu to taktuba? Why would it go to the nasab state? What could cause it? That's the question. What would cause it? What is an example of something that would cause this?
To have like agreement, like the word preceding it.
Can you give an example?
Like
like adding a harf in front of it.
Like what? Just give me an example of one. An actual example.
Like min.
No, but that's close.
Minus.
We're going in the right direction. We're going in the right direction, but that's not it. But go ahead.
what about like la?
Nope. You're getting close though. Very close.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, hold on. I'm trying to think of something. If there's something. No. I'm trying to think of something that's something from like Juz Amma. It's not in Surah Al-Fatiha. All right. Do you guys want to guess anything else? You're getting close. You just there's a harf, but what is the harf called? How about that? All right, we'll go here.
Harf jar or
No, this is a it's called harf jar is different. It's going to be called
yeah.
This is harf jar. I thought I put one here. Maybe I didn't put it. It's yeah. Here we go. It's called harf nasb. And these are the ones that we covered.
Sure.
An, lan, kay,
Yeah,
idan.
lan, kayzan, hatta, la.
Hatta and the harf la, like the letter la.
Yep.
La, excuse me, the letter la. So an is 2.
Harf naf.
So an aktuba, lan taktuba will not, you will not. Kay yaktuba in order to write. And it's referring to third person male. Idan, thus, therefore. Idan taktuba. Hatta yaktuba. Oh yeah. No. There's a hatta and then but that hatta is a different meaning. That means like until. And it's used as a preposition. Anyway, all right. So remember, all right, so that's how we did it. That's what all these were. That's what puts this mudari in the nasab state, if it's preceded by one of these. Annan, kay, idan, hatta, lam. And so you both were going in the right direction. You almost got it, and that's fine. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay. Let's go to this over here. This is now in the majzum state. So why don't you, Sister Ayman, go ahead and maybe you can read this row here, and then we'll go back and forth on the reading.
Okay. So this is which? Oh, this is which one now? Just
This is the majzum state or
majzum
jazm state.
state. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Just, okay.
doesn't say.
Okay, so aktub, ansa, asfu, ajri.
All right. What do you notice differently here? What's the difference between this and the rafa state?
I mean, the D one is, of course, the sukun.
Yes.
They don't end in ya or
Yeah.
or alif.
Good point. Okay.
They've all been dropped.
Yeah.
Those letters are gone. Very good observation. So the ansa, asfu, ajri. What would cause this? What would cause an example? I wanted an example, please, of why would I say or ansa or asfu or ajri?
So it's a harf jazm then?
Yes. Give us an example.
Like lam.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't by heart. I was just looking in the back notes. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. That's fine.
In.
So
Lam, la, and in.
Yeah, the la is only if it's a command. So it can only be if I'm saying it to somebody. It can't be for myself. It doesn't really make any sense. It's only for that, but it is a harf jazm, but it's only used when I'm talking to somebody, but it's correct. So it could be la taktub, don't write.
Right. Yeah. So then they hidden thing, right? With the you or something like that. You do not do this or something.
Yes. Implied. It's an implied.
Implied. Yeah. What is it?
Implied.
Damir mustatir.
Damir mustatir. Yeah. And so here's the ahruj jar.
This is a good one actually. This is a good
majzoom. And so in the ahruf majzoom, and you've all covered this, so don't worry about it. There's lam, lamma, la, in, and then here's these other ones too. This is like the full list, including that. In, ma, man, anna, mahma, ay, mata, ayyana, aina, idma, haythuma, kayfama, idha. These are mostly conditional ones, and then what we have here is these are all conditionals. So lam means didn't, la is do not, and that'd be second person if I'm like talking to somebody. In is if, and then when it becomes this conditional in, you can use any one of these. When we're doing conditions, you can do any one of these, and we'll have a separate section that talks about this in more detail. But this is just a little bit of review of what it does to the verb. And then we have where was lamma? Has not yet. Have not yet or has not yet. ولما يدخل وقالت الأعراب آمنا قل لم تؤمنوا ولكن قولوا أسلمنا ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم. The Arabs or the Bedouins at that time, they said, we believe. قل لم تؤمنوا. Say you haven't believed. ولكن قولوا أسلمنا. But say that you've accepted Islam or you're in the Islam state or Muslim state. ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم. And Iman or belief has not entered your hearts yet. That's from Surah Hujurat. All right. Okay, good. All right. Not this. We're over here. Okay. So here, as those were good observations, and then maybe Hadi, if you wouldn't mind, the D7, row 7, starting with D.
Okay. تكتب. تنسى. Did I say it right this time?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. أصفو.
Yep.
And تجرية.
Yes. So here, what's something noteworthy that you're observing here? What's something that you maybe all noticed here between any of these?
They all end in alif.
Yes. They all end in alif. And what else?
They have a fatha at right before the alif.
what about compared to the rafa and nasab state? So let's just go back and look at the nasab. So this is the nasab state. The H through E, this is the nasab state. And then over here, sorry about all this, but the L through I, this is the rafa state. So the rafa state, they're all alif and what? Noon, right? And then when we go to H through E, it's just alif. We drop the noon on all of them, right? This is the nasab state we're looking at right now. And then in D through A, they're in the jazm state, and they're all just drop the alif, or drop the noon, sorry, right? So what are some commonalities or differences here?
Some had a kasra.
Yeah, well, and also that the nasab and the jazm state, this is where I was kind of going with it, and you know, they're the same. So sometimes there's some overlap between the nasab and jazm state, and sometimes they're not. The rest of this, I think the main commonality between the jazm and the rafa state, the nasab state, the mansub and the majzub state, is there's many in common, excluding the drop the letter. The drop the letter thing, that's in the jazm. We're just dropping the final letter. We're dropping the alif maksur, we're dropping the waw, we're dropping the ya when that's applicable. But if it's the ya, or if it ends in alif or ends in the waw alif, it's the same across them. And then the nun and niswa, it's the same. This nun and niswa state, this is the same across all three. It doesn't change. Tansayna, tasfuna, tajrina. This is the same across all of them. Let me do this. Okay, how do I do this? All right, let's do this. It's very small now, but let me think about this. All right, so let's look at this. Oh, let me just hide these rows. Hide columns DNF. All right, columns. And I just want to show you a sample of what I'm talking about. And we'll just hide these also. Now I'll zoom in right here now. All right, so here, look right here. If we look here, yaktubna, yansena, yaktubna, yansena, yansena, it's the same. In all these states, it's the same. You know what I'm saying? Yaktubna, yansena, yaktubna, yansena, yansena. You see, this is in the rafa state. This is in the, let me hide this column too. There you go. Yeah. So if we look here, oh yeah, I shouldn't. All right, cool. Yeah, this is cool. Although we have to look at the other ones too. But anyways, here it's aktubu, ensa, ensa, ensa. So the jism state changed here. Aktubu, tensa, tensa, tensa. It changed. This is for the alif though. In the waw, it's a different situation. If the waw is ending, it's going to be a little bit different. And then here it's tensayani, tensaya, tensaya. All right, so there's some change there. But for this taktubna, tensayna, 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 yaktubna, yansayna, yansayna, yansayna. This, whether it ends in a alif maksur, an alif, a ya, or waw, these things are going to be the same. In the rafa, nasab, and jazm states, these will be the same. They don't change. Now, what is the relevance of that? That it doesn't change. I don't know if you guys kind of followed what I said. Like here, I can I might have not said it the best way, but if you look here, no, wait, I don't want to do that. Actually, I want to do this. And hide everything. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K. Okay, all right, I think we got everything. If we look here, these, I know it's really small here, but just for a moment, these, what I was trying to show was this. These right here, this is all in the nasab state over here. Tajrina, taktubna, tansena. This over here is in the nasab state. Tajrina, taktubna, tansena. And then when we go over here into the jazm state, it's the same thing. Tansena, tasfuna, tajrina. Tansena, tasfuna, tajrina. It doesn't change. Whether it ends in an alif, whether it ends in a ya or a waw or whatever, it does not change. Only for those. Only for the taktubna and yaktubna. For everything else, you will see some difference somewhere. But not these. Those pronouns, the hunna and antunna, it will not change. For all the other ones, you see, for example, here, it's for example, here it's tensa, but here it's tensa without the alif. Some of the different pronouns, it'll change. And then here, for example, it's taktuba, here's taktub. You see how it changed there. Or, for example, here, if you look at yaktubna, it's yaktubna always. It's taktubna always. It doesn't change. Whether it's the rafa, nasab, or jazm state, none of them will change. What I did here in the rafa state, these, what I'm getting at specifically is these right here. Taktubna, tansena, tasfuna, tajrina, these 6 right here, or 8 right here, excuse me. Whatever state they're in, rafa, nasab, these, whether, it will not change. It doesn't matter what the ending is. They will not change throughout the various state changes of rafa, nasab, and jazm. Everything else will change. Everything else will have change. Maybe not every last scenario, but there will be some change. Right? So like here it's aktuba, aktubu, then it'll be aktuba, aktub. Right? So that'll change. All of them will have some level of change. Not every last one of them, but across the states, there'll be some change between some of them, but not these bottom ones. Now, what is the relevance of that? That's the whole question. Why bring that up? What was mentioned in the beginning towards the beginning of these last few weeks that we talked about that's relevant to this? It's kind of like connecting the dots across the last few chapters.
Something about mu'tal and mubni, or?
Not mu'tal, but about mabniun and mu'rab.
Mubni. Mu'rab, yeah, right. Mu'rab, yeah.
So if you remember, the fi'l mudari' is mu'rab except for the nun and niswa. The nun and niswa, which is taktubna, yaktubna. It's mabniun, it's built. What it means in terms of built is if I put a len, lem, la, en, ke, idan, anything on them, they are not going to change. They're not influenced by preceding harf, the nun and niswa. Taktubna is the same. Taktubna, hiya taktubna, or hunna taktubna, they write. Or len yaktubna, they won't write, referring to third person females. Len taktubna, you plural females, you will not write. It's all the same. Whatever letters I put behind it before it will not change. And that's what mabniyan means. Mabniyan means a word is built, it will not be influenced by anything else in the sentence. It's done. And then, but all these other ones in the mudari', they will change. It could be taktuban, or in a certain situation, be taktubat. any one of these other ones, depending on a certain situation, could be taktubu, taktuba, taktub, taktuban, taktuba, but not taktubna. Taktubna is taktubna no matter what happens to it. The meaning will change, but the grammatical analysis of it and its what's happening in terms of the i'rab will not change. That's what's mabniun. The same thing for mudari if it was because of the noon at tawkid. And there was two different types. So that was like, for example, in the Quran, لا تدخلن المسجد الحرام. لا تدخلن. That's always. Also, تدخلن. لا يكونن. That's in Surah Yusuf. It doesn't change when it has that extra noon thing for tawkid, which we also covered in the, I think we covered it here. Let me see if I have one thing for it. We have it in our grammatical examples. I'll just pull it up real quick and then we can kind of close on this. But we're just kind of going full circle here about like what this mabniun or these are all tied together. We're just analyzing the same things. But if you look here, yeah. Oh, here we go. Here's the mudari one. So if you look here, النساء يذهبن. يذهبن is, it's mabniun. This one's also mabniun, and this is what I was talking about. لأستمعن. I will pay. نستمعن النصيحة, to the advice. I will pay heed, and then it's done. It's mabniun. This is mabniun. And maybe that's not a good color. Let me just do a different color. This is just kind of like the concept review or whatever, is that this is mabniun. So if it ends in this noon at-tawkid, al-thaqila, or ends in the noon at-tawkid, al-khafifa, or if it's this noon al-niswa, then it'll be mabniun, 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 which means what? What does it mean again when I make the verb mabniun? The mudari. What happens when we make the mudari mabniun?
Isn't that when you leave it alone?
Yes. It means it won't change. Nothing else in the sentence will influence it. I'm not going to drop a noon. I'm not going to add a fatha. I'm not going to add a kasra. I'm not going to do anything to it. It stays the same, regardless of other things in the sentence. However, these other verbs, outside of the noon and niswa and that noon and tawkid we just talked about, everything else is going to change. This tensawna is going to become tensu. It's going to be tasfu. Different changes will happen. Not every last one of them, but there'll be some change to it depending on its state, but not the noon and niswa, for antunna and hunna, or the noon and tawkid, the heavy one, taqid, or the khafif one, which is a light one. So that's one advantage of the whole noon and niswa. Once you memorize it, it kind of stays the same. It's not going to change. The other ones here, they're going to change. So we'll have to be familiar as we navigate through it and we do it. So I think what we'll do is we can stop here, and then I think what we'll do, that's just essentially a summary of everything that happens in this chapter. We talked about this chapter last time. We just reviewed it all. And the qaida, the rule is الفعل المضارع المعتل الآخر يرفع بالضمة المقدرة على الألف والواو والياء. So it has a dhamma muqaddara, like that's been kind of removed. على الألف والواو والياء. And then وينصب بفتحة مقدرة. So this fatha is kind of like a removed one, and a zahira. Anyways, the gist of all this is that we usually be hadith al-akhir. The gist of all this is what you see here. This is going to happen. Is everything saw in this table? So we can look at this table, and what I'll do is I'll create probably some exercise. I mean, maybe we'll just do, I think that's what it'll be. You can do it like, we'll pick like these similar verbs, and then you can do it. The thing is, it's going to take a while to do it. I'm trying to think of like how to reduce it, but I can't think of a way off the top of my head. I think you just have to go through it and do it. If you want, maybe just do like, because all of them have different scenarios. You have to, I don't know how you could, maybe I'll just pick a few pronouns to do. So you don't have to do every pronoun. We can do the ana. All right, we'll do ana. We'll do the antuma. Then we'll do the whom and antunna. Yeah, I think we'll pick like 4 pronouns, and then we'll have a total of 4 verbs. Because the thing is, there's a difference whether it's a alif maksur, wow, or yeah, or if it's an alif. But I'm trying to think if there's any alif verbs that I know of. Anyways, that's what the homework is going to be. I would highly encourage you to do that one. And I think from last week's homework, I don't remember what happened last week. I have to look at it again. But from last week's homework, what was it? Oh, yeah. It was identify the pronouns in ma'un, and then do ketaba in the different ones. So I think, yeah, this same homework is oh, no, that's just ketaba. So that was in ketaba. And then, well, I'll add 3 other verbs that'll be different than this week. But last week's homework was a good review homework. This was a very good review. So you'd go through all the different states. Aktubu, taktubu, kataba, kataba, everything that we know about this. Uktub, everything that was happened in the past. This was a good review exercise. And then we'll do something similar for that for these other ones. If it ends in a wow, alif maksur, or yeah, but we'll do just a subset. Like if it's, I'll do I, ana, huma, or antuma, one of the muthanna or duals, a plural, and then the nun and niswa, either antunna or hunna, one of the 2. And that should cover at least like all the different variations as it goes across the different states of rafa, nasab, and jazm. All right, any other questions or comments?
Just a very simple one. What's the translation of mu'tal?
Mu'tal?
Yes.
Mu'tal, let's just look it up and see how they translate it. Mu'tal is like, illa is like
when
a
you say
sickness.
mu'tal al-akhir, like what does that mean?
That means it's alif or ya grammatically, but the origin of the word, let's look at it. No, this is not what I want to do. Good question. Not that either. Wiktionary. I always pop it in a Wiktionary. Wiktionary does a good job. Or you can pop it in Google too. This might not show up in, let's see if it shows up here. Mu'tal, adjective. So it means sick, weak, or defective. That's what the origin of the word means. However, when we're talking about it grammatically, it means that the word ends in an alif, wow, or yeah.
Oh, so by default, just when you say mu'tal, we would be talking about a word ending in alif, ya, or waw.
Yeah. If we said al-mu'tal al-akhir, if we say al-mu'tal al-akhir, it means ends in alif, waw, or yeah. That's what it means in the grammatical sense. And the origin of the word, or how it used outside of grammar, if you said the dog is sick, you said al-kalb mu'tal. The dog is sick, or weak, or defective. That could also mean like it's missing a toe or something, or a foot or something like that, and you say it's mu'tal. Right? You could say that. And then when we're talking about grammatically, though, it means that the verb ends in an alif, waw, or yeah.
Thank you.
All right, good question. All right, everybody, good lesson, hopefully. And what we'll do is I'll write up that homework thing, and then I would really encourage those particular ones, last week's and this one. You can do it slowly, but I think the review, the last week's homework is review of everything, of all the verbal conjugations, and then this one will be with a subset, including the rafa, nasab, and jazm, nafa, nasab, and jazm states. All right, assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Jazakallah khair.